Kukstomkaukika, Wanosts'a in Shwachicha, Tilkulil wat ula Shwash and Nuknuka, Ekkan dam Liljawna Tikamiksha, Ilil Timskasla. I greet each of you. My name is Wanosts'a. I thank you very much for trying to say my name. Lorna Williams is my English name. I'm from Litwatul, which are from the mountains in western British Columbia in Canada. I acknowledge my ancestors and say and bring greetings to the lands on which we meet today. The lands of the ancestors whose memories we count on. I want to first of all say I am so grateful that this group has been brought together to bring Indigenous knowledge to the discussion about the world and what we've done to this planet. It means a great deal, and we have lots and lots of work to do. I called this session, I was going to give a talk on Wanosts'a, and Sister came and asked me how to say it, and she was going to try. I'm so happy that she even had the intention of trying. Wanosts'a in my language is what we know. Very, very rarely have we had an opportunity ever in the world of the current world we live in, the academic world in which I'm a part of, have we ever been able to truly share that knowledge. It is a struggle. And I want to thank the speakers prior to me. So much of what you had to say is what I had planned to say. So I'm going to continue and not repeat. But what you said about our knowledge systems is extremely, extremely important. I want to talk about our knowledge systems and how do we come to know. Indigenous people, I've noticed around the world, and I've learned from my own people, that observation is probably our strongest ally. Everywhere we go, everywhere I go, that's what I noticed with Indigenous people, is that wherever they are, whatever they do, they're noticing. And in that noticing, they're connecting, relating, and sharing. Another really important aspect of our knowledge system is this idea of gift, of giving, of receiving. We receive our knowledge not just from each other, not just from what we observe, but we receive our knowledge about plant, about the healing nature of plant, the nurturing nature of plant from the plants themselves. Which means that we must seek to understand and to communicate with the plant world. And I know that that's sacrilegious, probably here, but especially in the world of science. We communicate with the animals. I respect and appreciate the stories that the Maasai tell about what they learn from their animals. Because stories is the other way in which we learn, we share, we teach. Stories, I know, in the science world, in the academic world, are not the way in which people are supposed to know and share knowledge. But in our world, we have systems of different kinds of stories. And just to give you an example, we have a system of stories in my nation called Nkoklet. There are several different types of genres of stories, but this one is Nkoklet. And Nkoklet are the stories that we tell about occurrences that take place. So for example, one of my brothers was a hunter. And he's the one who made sure that everyone in the community, not just in our family, but in the community, had something to eat. The relationship with the animal world was extremely important. The animals care for us, nourish us, and we need to respect and to be open to those animals because they give themselves up for us. Humans are the least able to care for themselves. We need the plant, we need the air, we need the water, we need the animals to care for us. And so he begins his hunting in prayers of gratitude and asking the animals to direct him to them. Not him. And this is very different from the white world that imposes and that thinks that they impose themselves on everything. When he is finished and he goes into the mountains and he sees the land, he crosses streams, he sees the plant, he sees the trees, what the climate has done, what the wind has done, what the water has done. He notices all of that. And then he sees the animals and relates with them. They dance as they go through the forest. And then he takes what he needs. He goes back, he takes the heart, and then he goes home and presents that to the old people. The rest of the people go and they bring the animals home. They dress them, divide it, present it to all of the people in gratitude. At the end, what the hunter does, what my brother would do, is he would tell the story of the hunt. Then all of us would have a relationship with the animals that will nourish us. Not only does he talk about the hunt, the animals, but he tells too about what he sees about the earth. He tells a story about the creeks so that the people will know what they need to do to care for the streams. He tells the stories about the plant that he sees, the trees, the state of the trees, because we have to notice all the things that are happening to the world in which we live, so that we can care for them in a caring way. It's also important for us to know, and it comes in these stories, it's important for us as humans to know when we need to walk away and to let the land, the animals, the plant, and the water care for themselves. Probably one of the hardest things that we're going to have to learn is that because we live in a world that believes that humans must defy everything, to exert their power and dominance over everything. And that was told to us in stories to caution us about the human's brilliant mind, but also our audacity to think that we can do everything. It's important for me to say that it's time for us to remember that we're a part of all of life. We're a part of all of life. And we need to be a part of that life. We need to respect the world of the plant, the world of the animals, the world of water, the world of air, if we're going to survive. What do we need to do? There has been talk about education, about the disciplines, the various disciplines. And I was happy this morning to hear that the world of science, physical sciences, hard sciences, and social sciences might be able to come together. I have been in the universities for a while, and that's a big challenge for disciplines to be able to share. Never mind with us sharing with the plant world and knowing how to communicate. Disciplines have an equally hard challenge. But it's one that we need to do. We need to be able to break down those walls and the moats that we've built around knowledge systems. It's going to take a while, but I think we're on our way to possibly doing this. I urge people in all countries, and I urge the world of Catholicism to support the reconnecting, the redevelopment, the reconnection with our world, the Indigenous world knowledge. Because education, the Christian world in all its ways, have worked very hard to disconnect us. And it's important that we're in the process of reconnecting. And so I urge the development of learning systems, of learning sites, of learning institutions that really do respect and honor Indigenous knowledge as it is, not interpreted from a Euro-Western scientific world. Because right now, that's what we do. We try to talk about Indigenous knowledge. We try to understand it and to share it, but we do it still through a very different world. And we need to be able to collectively work together in all the places where we are to recoup, regain, relearn our knowledge systems so that we can learn and bring that to the healing world of humans that are suffering on every part of this planet. In our communities, where I come from, people are suffering from drugs, from drug abuse, because their spirits are hurting. And we need to be able to find the ways in which Indigenous people have been able for thousands and thousands and thousands of years to care for themselves. And we need to find that knowledge to be able to do that. But to care for each other, to care for ourselves, and to care for the planet in every part of where we live. We can do that in gratitude, in openness, in respecting each other, that all of us need to be able to work together to contribute. Thank you very much.